The FCM initiative is working across phases of crisis and conflict. Here we've shown you and highlighted a bit more what are the primary geographies where we're working. You can see Nigeria, Kenya, Ethiopia, Mozambique, and Guatemala really coming up here, as well as Jordan. But we also have secondary and tertiary geographies, and in general, we remain flexible to go to new areas based on partner demand. We are working on 4 end of initiative outcomes, all of which we plan to achieve by the end of this year.
So work package 1, which we refer to as anticipate, focuses on understanding and preempting risks in areas heavily impacted by climate vulnerability, conflict, and migration. Through innovative partnerships, we promote anticipatory action, connecting short-term responses with long-term adaptation to build resilience against disasters and reducing costs for recovery. In partnership with WFP, our team has conducted forensic analysis of the 2023 floods in Ethiopia's Somali region, which is a fragile area suffering from conflict, climate variability, and food insecurity. The analysis aimed at closing data gaps on flood impacts and enhancing early warning systems, and provides key recommendations for strengthening community resilience through DRR investments. WFP has launched what is referred to as a Dike for Every Village initiative to build protective structures, starting with 33 villages. Pakistan faces escalating climate and water challenges and is among the world's most climate vulnerable countries. So in partnership with the Pakistani authorities, our team has conducted in-depth research in South Punjab's district of Rahim Yar Khan. The study developed a climate change vulnerability index and highlighted economic and gender-specific vulnerabilities, gaps in water and sanitation, and urgent needs in food and health security. This research is used to inform policy and disaster planning, guiding investments in disaster-resilient agriculture, gender-sensitive DRR measures, and improved coordination among agencies.
My name is Peter Ladera, and I co-lead the FCM initiative with Katrina and Sandy, and also lead this work package 2, which is called Bridge. So it's bridging the humanitarian development peace nexus, but it's also bridging short-term and long-term intervention. So it's about long-term solutions to short-term crisis. So the search capacity, as you may be familiar with the standby partnership of the UN or other search capacities where additional expertise and hands and minds are being brought to emergency. So we're basically doing the same, but with additional humans and evidence to work with our partners. So we have several colleagues seconded to the institutions that you can see here on the slide, working with them on a daily basis so that we can seamlessly integrate our science into their programming and policy, and of course also respond to demands. So we know that a lot of evidence and science on the impacts of climate change and its relationship with human mobility and fragility is highly geographically imbalanced. So a lot of the research and evidence is coming from the north, looking at a lot of challenges in the south. So we want to help to change that and help low-income countries have more visibility of their evidence and research. So that's how in October launched our academy with the 10 first fellows and 10 mentors. So by beginning of next year, we'll have a special issue with loads of publications of those colleagues coming out and helping to influence policy and programming at global level.
My name is Kate Ambler, and I am a Senior Research Fellow at IFPRI, where I have been leading our work package that focuses on understanding how to promote recovery and resilience in fragile settings and for migrants. Much of the work that we are doing centers on the evaluation of programming that is designed to build stable livelihoods in these areas, with the goal of understanding how to best design these programs and these policies. We work closely with our partners to develop the research questions and design the studies to evaluate the programs that they are implementing. I'll now zoom in a little more detail on a project that seeks to promote stability by directly addressing women's issues. Researchers found that these trainings increased individual and collective efficacy and increased women's participation in community development. Women who have been trained are found to be more confident that they can rely on others for help and are also more confident in their own abilities. The success of these trainings are already having an impact on the design of ActionAid programming, even as final evaluation results are being compiled.
My name is Jose Kamanda. I work with the International Water Management Institute, and I'm going to talk about the work that we are doing under the Accelerate work package. innovations to, improve resilience in fragile and conflict-affected settings come not only from the CGIAR, but also from other sources. So the aim of this work package is to source for local, high-impact, high potential innovations, and then support them through a science-driven enterprise acceleration process to promote resilience in these areas. Corpora developed this technology that harvests moisture from the air and therefore producing clean water, which could be used for drinking, for other domestic uses. It could be used for farming, for many other purposes.
My name is Kibram Abai, and I'm working as Senior Research Fellow at IFPRI, and I'm leading this work package. This is a learning and partner decision support. This is one of the work packages that allows us to respond to emerging demand from our partners. We're providing research and analytical support to inform the design and delivery of programs in countries affected by conflict and other types of shocks. We broadly define the thematic areas into 3 groups. Disaster risk financing, that includes anticipatory action and other types of risk mitigation initiatives. And then we have a number of activities aiming to support food system transformation through sustainable school meals and clean cooking. And then we have another third arm or pillar that aims to support smallholder farmers build resilience. So this was launched in June 2023. Within this time, we launched about 30 research activities across 13 different countries. These activities are allowing us to co-produce a number of knowledge products with our partners, particularly on priority topics to World Food Program. And then through this partnership, we're also nurturing additional strategic collaboration and partnership with other partners in this space.
We can't find solutions alone. We need partnerships. And that's why we started to work with CGIAR really closely around 2 years ago. And I'm happy to say that CGIAR has become our most important partner for research and analysis regards to climate. And that's mostly because our expertise, which is mostly on displacement, on protection, and our operational presence really matches perfectly with what CGIAR can offer in terms of their expertise on land, water, and food systems, but also in terms of their research capacity, their focus on innovative solutions. And we're especially welcoming the focus on fragility and conflict that FCM is bringing.
What contributed to the successes recorded on the Metaketa project has to do with the relationship we had with the principal investigators in the research. It was a research to look at if building the capacity of women through training would empower them and build their agency and give them a voice. And so we had this partnership in which there was provision of technical insight, so beyond funding, provision of technical insight and respect and recognition of Action Aid's experience over the years. This partnership has resulted in building the capacities of 13 times 300 women whose voices have been strengthened. So thank you. The partnership was worth it, and we're looking for ways to better it.
The review of the shock responsive safety net for human capital project in Somalia, or Spark Nano, the timing of that was critical. And the evidence really was critical on identifying the fidelity of the program, of the Spark Nano program implementation. And that was very useful in the design and informing the planning and the design of the next phase. As for WFP, the findings were very critical to help WFP refine its approach to social protection in the context of Somalia, ensuring that interventions are both evidence-based and aligned with beneficiary needs and context. So again, very much a timing of that evidence, both on the program itself as an output to the government and WFP in support of that, but in WFP's work around social protection in the fragile context of Somalia.
Our collaboration with CGIAR has been transformative in scaling our homegrown, invented here in Jordan, atmospheric water harvesting technology. Our impact has expanded in several key ways. By harvesting water from air, our technology is reducing pressure on Jordan's depleted groundwater sources. Each stream system saves approximately 180,000 liters of groundwater annually and produces an equal amount. The community level approach with Stream has fostered collaboration and buy-in and has gotten the government quite excited about these new innovative technologies that are coming online soon. CGIAR support continues to be invaluable as we refine both droplet and stream technologies, and we expand to new regions across the Middle East.
By the end of this year, the 30 plus CGIAR initiatives will come to a closure. We will start with our science program. And so one of those science programs is the Food Frontiers and Security program. There is also going to be 2 other food systems that are going to be in this new program, which is the urban and peri-urban food system and the island food systems. Those will be underpinned by a future food systems lab. So you may think that those 3 food systems at the first look, they look very different, right? But interestingly, they actually have a lot of commonalities, and that's also where we're going to work on through the future lab. They are all amongst the most vulnerable to shocks and crises. They're all characterized by high numbers of young people. They're characterized by isolation with short and resource scarce food value chains. They all suffer by relatively high levels of food and water insecurity. They're affected by all 3 forms of malnutrition. They face serious environmental threats and degradation, and migration is a core concern. So these are the cross-cutting commonalities that we'll be working on across those 3 food systems.